Okay, so recently I've had a massive spike in followers, and I just want to say before I get started on this next video, thank you all so much for liking and commenting and subscribing and everything. It really does mean a lot. I may even do another subscribing spree because that seemed to work quite well when I did it before, and I will let you all know on Twitter and on Instagram and things like that if I do another subscribing spree. For those of you who don't know, a subscribing spree is basically where I will do something or reveal something for every subscriber that subscribes to me between a certain date. Now that sounds really rude, but in my previous subscribing spree, for every person that subscribed to me, I subscribed to them back, and I also revealed a fact about myself. And that seemed to work really well for my channel. I got quite a few quite a few subscribers from that, and hopefully I will do a little bit more about that, or I may even do like a readathon kind of thing maybe instead. So yeah, let me know if that's something you would like to see, and I am going to get on with my next video now. Okay, so time for today's actual video after that little intro there. This video is all about The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. Now this book is a YA/New A book for me personally. It is classed as a thriller, however reading it is quite sort of juvenile for an adult thriller writing style. A YA thriller or an NA thriller would be brilliant. It would be the perfect place to stick this. As ever, if I do get spoilery, I will change the colour of my screen, and then you should know to mute it or to skip it until it changes back to normal. So The Girl with All the Gifts follows a girl called Melanie, and she is basically in an army base kind of thing, and she is a prisoner in the sense that she has something wrong with her, but she doesn't realise she has this thing wrong with her, and it's really hard to explain without being spoilery. The people at the army base are basically investigating this disease that is spreading around the world called the Hungries. They call them the Hungries because it's like they turn into a zombie and eat anything with a pulse basically, and they believe that Melanie and a number of other children actually have this disease, only they aren't like the other Hungries, they are special. So this follows Melanie and her realization that she's actually one of these kind of things, and she also develops a friendship with one of the teachers in her space called Miss Justino, or Helen Justino, and Helen is she takes on a maternal role for Melanie, and it all basically kicks off when their friendship sort of takes a funny turn, in the sense of the rule for Helen is no touching the children, no interaction with the children, because you don't know how they're going to react with this Hungries pathogen. Are they going to attack you? Are they going to do anything? Are they going to do nothing at all? Basically, you do not know unless it actually happens. So the rule is no touching or anything like that, and one day Helen just instinctively brushes Melanie's head, just sort of, pats her head kind of thing. Kind of a bit like that. That was a bit creepy, but anyway. And it all kicks off for her. She basically gets given a warning, and the next day she goes in, she's quite cold, but then for the next couple of weeks this is how it is. It's quite cold between her and the rest of the class. There's no sort of like maternal instincts or anything like that. And then one day Melanie isn't in her class and she wonders why, and she comes to the realization that Dr. Caldwell, who is the resident doctor / investigator towards this disease, has took Melanie for dissection, and she goes along to try and save Melanie, and then the base is invaded by a mix of Hungries and others who are called Junkers, and these Junkers are basically the people that aren't infected but still live in the wild, so to speak. They still live out in the world, and the base gets the base gets invaded, not infected, and they have no other option but to escape. And then this follows their journey for survival, and this was such a good book. I absolutely loved it, and it was one of those books that I knew I really connected with, because for all I didn't think it was a thriller at the time, I had a nightmare or two about it, not gonna lie. Yeah, it was great. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I absolutely loved the writing style. It took me back to the Gone series by Michael Grant. It took me back a lot to that, in the sense of it's a YA thriller kind of thing, and suspenseful, and just, I did not see the ending coming. I really didn't see the ending coming, and I absolutely loved it. It was, you know, it was completely unexpected. The ending I was expecting, I realised when I had about 20 pages left, I was like, there better be a lot of small writing coming up, or else I'm not going to get the ending I want. But ultimately, the ending that I did end up getting was great. At the end of this book as well, there's little notes from the author, and I didn't exactly want to read them after I'd read the book, because I didn't want them to sort of spoil my own interpretations and my own thoughts and things like that. I may have a look into them at some point, but at the minute that's not an option for me. Anyway, I would highly recommend this to anybody. If you would like to know anything else about the characters or the plot, or if you've read this and you would like to discuss something that happens in the book, let me know down below in the comments, and just put a warning that it's going to be spoilery for anybody else who hasn't read it, who would like to read it. As I said before, I highly recommend it, and I hope to see you all adding it to your hauls and things like that. So yes, I'll see you all soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching. Like it if you wish, comment, subscribe, the usual. Thank you so much. See you all soon with another video.